I have
What?
to do my hair.
What do you have to do with your hair?
I also need some.
Welcome back to the Soft Fantasy Football Show. Corbin is in his
I'm
locker
still
room
in
right now.
wardrobe
Yeah. You have like a wardrobe right there. That's crazy.
for
Got
all my meetings. Ooh, 5 hour energy drink. Nice.
ooh. It's been a while.
Okay. Yep. Second week update.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure I'm handsome for the cameras.
So I wanted to look at the softest league because that's our oldest league together. I don't know if it's like the most
It's your
competitive league.
oldest league, totally. You didn't play fantasy football before that, buddy.
No, I'm saying it's not your oldest league. That's what I was. That's why I said
Oh,
our oldest
sure.
league together.
That's because I'm an ancient man.
Yeah, I
I
wasn't
remember
implying like
back when we did it by newspaper clippings
you didn't do
for the
newspaper
internet.
clippings.
I was drafting Warren Moon.
You might have been doing it like on the browser, but not
Hmm.
not newspaper clippings.
I did. I did it on the computer.
Yeah. So looking at our standings in the softest league, I'm 2-0, and
Are you?
I'm number one on the leaderboard with points scored, and then
Really?
you are 0-2. But
Oh,
I looked at the games, and you played against
yep.
like the two
Yeah,
almost highest
I'm
scores.
top four, I think, in points forward.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna win this week because I got the blessing of the week, which is I'm playing against the Ramondre Stevenson owner.
Yeah.
Mwah.
That is
Point -7.
yeah, that's wild. The Patriots looked so bad. I mean, the Jets just
Yeah,
were good, and the Patriots
I
just
I think the Jets stink.
really
Yep.
they
I
just
think
cruised through the Patriots defense
I think the Patriots are not good, like not good,
at all.
and yeah, at all. Like the Bengals should be ashamed of themselves. They should consider relegating to college football.
That's what I was gonna
Um,
bring up. The Patriots made the
Hate
Bengals
them.
look awful.
Right, right, and I think that speaks to Joe Burrow. I think he maybe should try throwing with his left hand or something,
Yeah,
and then I don't even know who their running back is actually because I stayed so far away from every single Bengals player that,
I think it's
um,
Zach Moss.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
and then you got the Seahawks in week two, and they didn't look bad in that game. They should have won if they didn't have a blocked field goal. Like I don't know.
you know,
I don't think the Patriots have been looking that bad compared to like what everybody thought they were gonna be.
who's their number one wide receiver?
Hunter Henry.
Right, a 31-year-old tight end.
Yeah, who had what did he have? He had 75% of the yards in the game against the
Yeah,
Seahawks. Yeah,
yeah, like the Patriots are bad, bad. I
yeah,
mean, uh, it's gonna be a long 5 to 7 years,
yeah.
before they're good again. Um, Yeah, I was really, we'll see how the head coach turns out, but um I totally forgot because I also dismissed the Chargers players on the year, I just was like, they're gonna be horrible. Like Austin Eckler's gone, all the good wide receivers aged out. They still have Justin Herbert, who I think he's a top five quarterback in the league on a trash team is the problem.
Yeah.
And but I forgot Harbaugh was going to coach them, and I love Harbaugh. So both of the Harbaughs,
Yeah.
um, but especially the Chargers head coach because he's a football dude. He's the
So
funny one.
are the Chargers the oh man, I can't find anything right now. The Chargers aren't 2-0, are they?
No, nope. Let me pull up your standings for you.
Justin Herbert.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, no,
Chargers are
they're
2-0.
2-0.
Yep. Oh,
That's crazy.
yeah, that is crazy. The Steelers are 2-0. That's also crazy.
The
I love the Bears memes of it's like Kane from the WWE where he's wearing a mask and he takes his mask off and his mask is on from underneath and it's
yeah,
like switching from Justin Fields to Caleb Williams.
yeah. Have you seen the
Ooh.
one where it's like it's showing Justin Fields sitting like this, and then it shows Caleb Williams in like the last week just sitting like this too, and it's like when you're a quarterback playing for the Bears, it's just like
Yep, yep.
miserable.
It is. It's wild.
Yeah, there's
I I yeah, I mean, as far as like standalone game stuff, I like the Browns, Panthers, Patriots, Bengals, Jets, and Broncos are like I refuse to draft anybody on any of those teams.
yeah,
Um I like they're just total unknowns as far as like if they're gonna matter or not.
yeah.
Um
I don't think I'd get. We say Jets, Browns, Panthers,
Jets, Browns, Panthers,
Patriots,
uh Patriots,
Chargers.
Chargers,
Yeah, I
Bengals.
I don't think I got any of those either. I don't think I did. I
Right,
didn't get Jamar Chase anywhere. I didn't get,
right,
and then everybody else was like just like nobody knew who the team was gonna look like for the other ones, like the Chargers.
right, right.
Um, and then you got some crazy like I don't know what to call it, but the amount of lack of touchdowns in the past 2 weeks have been horrendous.
Well, so one thing that has become like a talking point is defenses like all playing cover two essentially
Yeah,
and denying the ability to throw the ball deep, and just forcing the games to kind of slog down. Yeah, like it is making the NFL boring a little bit because everybody's doing the same thing. But I think like somebody will figure it out.
yeah. I
Yeah,
I think it's just like the preseason they don't play together a lot besides practices. Like they don't do any preseason
right,
games anymore because they don't want
right.
people to get hurt. So it's like these first
Yep,
few weeks are just like preseason games for some teams.
right. The I do think like so the AFC East, like I'm just gonna go through the conferences real quick as far as like full blown AFC East entirely like stay away from trading into that division. Like
Yeah,
that's Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Bills. Don't try to trade for anybody on any of those teams because I don't know what is going on in that division, but holy trash. Um Chargers, Chiefs, like I think you can go for like Quentin Johnson or whoever you trust on the Chargers, and then obviously J.K. Dobbins has been phenomenal. Um, I have a good amount of J.K. Dobbins because he was like phenomenal for the Ravens as long as he doesn't play on their field, and then he'll get injured.
yeah.
So maybe trade him away before that game.
I
But
I picked a lot
like
of J.K. Dobbins too.
he's a great talent, and the Chargers typically like they have a good run scheme offense. Austin Eckler being the beneficiary for so long. Chiefs, somebody I'm looking at, I'm curious to see is Hollywood Brown return. See if he comes back and he's good at all.
I thought he
Rashi
was
Rice.
I thought he was going to be gone for most of the regular season.
I think he's set to return like in the next few weeks.
Really?
Um, yeah. Raiders, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
definitely don't like to have any Raiders. Broncos? No, 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 no. Um,
What about the Saints?
Saints, yes. Okay, let me finish getting through the AFC North or AFC.
Oh, you're going through the division.
Steelers,
Sorry.
Steelers also no. That's a big no from me, dog. Browns also a no. Ravens are very interesting. I'm curious to see how it shakes out like over the rest of the season to see if um Mark Andrews is like slowly, relinquishing his position. And if he is, then Isaiah likely should be a top 10 tight end on the season. Um and then Zay Flowers is like kind of the only person that understands where Lamar Jackson's throwing. I know they have their plans and where he's supposed to throw to, but it doesn't go there. So Zay Flowers has kind of learned how to interpret
Yeah.
his terrible passing skill.
Lamar Jackson hasn't looked great in passing. I mean, he's
No,
really
he
has
never
never.
has.
Yeah, never.
No, no. And the Bengals, you know, maybe when T. Higgins comes back, like things will go a little better for them. But I don't know how you go from like one of the scariest offenses on the planet to like nobody's worried about you at all. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
The I think T Higgins is supposed to come back this week. Like
right.
the report's saying he's good to go.
I do know what happened. There's a witch doctor in Louisiana that you can go see, and they will transfer talent from player to player. So the Texans owner went and sacrificed his firstborn. So now the Texans are the new Cincinnati Bengals, where you basically can pick any Texans player and expect them to get a touchdown any game potentially.
Yeah.
Because they are such a problem. Like I love Nico Collins,
Yeah.
and Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. I mean, it's phenomenal. So you won't have like a consistency, I don't think, but those like except for Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is gonna be a consistent like 4 or 10 points, has a boom value of 20 plus. But the rest of them too, so they're great flex plays.
Yeah, you could get like Stephon Diggs first week he got 2 touchdowns or whatever, and then next week it was bad. But
Yeah.
so
Um
it says Marquez Brown is not expected to return this season.
this
So
whole season,
yeah,
when is that article from though?
7 days ago,
Who wrote that article?
Fantasy Pros.
Hmm. Time to start dropping Marquez Brown. Okay, wrapping up that division though that the Texans play in. The other beauty of that team is that they get to play the Titans twice, the Jaguars twice, and the Colts twice, which means they get to play three of the worst teams in the NFL
Yeah,
twice. Um, so they get the curb stomp on those guys. Those other teams like uh Titans is kind of in that same boat of like I'm not following the Titans at all. They are obviously in a rebuild right now, and the Jaguars are not in a rebuild, but they should be. Because holy smokes, is Trevor Lawrence look like a bust?
yeah,
Um,
it's
just
crazy.
crazy. Because you look at the team and you're like, okay, Travis Etienne is a top 10 running back, probably,
Yeah,
and then they have Christian Kirk, who has been phenomenal the last 2 years.
he's irrelevant right
They
now.
they bring in Gabe Davis, who is a leadership player, not a skill player, obviously. As I drafted him last year with my fifth round pick.
Yeah,
Not this year.
I didn't.
And
He dropped so far in drafts too. He was like no, he wasn't even going
I don't
drafted
think he got
sometimes.
drafted.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he got drafted this year.
which is wild.
Yeah, and then their new player Thomas looks great. He looks like a great wide
Yeah,
receiver. And so, So it's got to be the scheme, which I'm okay with it because their coach is who is this? Doug Peterson, who um is one of my least favorite coaches of all time. So
Why is
former
that?
Eagles coach.
Oh, Eagles
He's
coach.
the coach of the Eagles that beat the Patriots with the backup quarterback.
Oof. In the Super Bowl.
And yep. And Tom Brady had his best game of his career that game.
That's crazy.
Well, you could argue the Falcons game might have been his best, but anyways. Um, and then the Colts are losing because they don't pass to Michael Pittman Jr.
Yep.
So hopefully they change that. Um, but
Anthony Richardson
like,
is like he's not a good passer.
no, not a good passer. So please run around, do the Cam Newton thing of like run till you're so concussed you start speaking another language on social media. Um,
Did Cam Newton do that?
oh yeah, he has his own like he has his own what do they call it when you can change like from Times New Roman to like
Oh, font.
Sam's. Yeah. So he's got a font that is an alien language of some kind, and you can tell between him like talking because he's you know he talks the way he dresses, which is very eccentric, and then of course he writes in this other language. um but have you seen the video going around of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown talking to each other if they believe in CTE or not
No.
from concussions? uh they don't believe in it, but anybody that watches that video will instantly believe in it.
Because they're talking about it.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's
they're
crazy.
like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Um, one of my favorite things going on right now is that when you go on to Google and you look up NFL standings and you click on the NFC at the very top, it goes NFC East, NFC West, NFC North, but at the very top, the very first team, the highest team is the Commanders right now, which means the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants are listed below them.
Yeah, the Cowboys look
Because,
bad.
oh yeah, I mean the Cowboys bad. Everybody knew the Giants were going to be bad.
Yeah,
Um, but geez, I don't think anybody knew they'd be this bad. Um, the Eagles don't look that horrible, you know.
no.
But they look like they kind of did at the later half of last year,
Yeah,
right? So, um, Jalen Hurts just looks like maybe he needs to go and learn about CTE healing or something because he looks confused
you
out
know what
there.
I saw? Um, I one of the podcasts I was listening to, they were talking about Jalen Hurts had Jason Kelsey snapping him the ball, and
Yep.
he would call out stuff to Jalen Hurts, like basically just
Uh,
like telling him what's going on.
yep.
So this new center doesn't do that, and it's
Yep.
Jalen Hurts is just like, oh, I have no idea what
Uh,
I'm doing.
yeah.
And
Yep.
it was they were
That's
talking
sad.
about that because of all these rookie quarterbacks that come in that have no idea how to run an NFL offense and they're awful,
Right.
and
Yep.
it's because they are just thrown into the position.
Right. Um, the Seahawks are 2-0,
Yeah,
which is I also tried to get a lot of what is it? Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jason Smith and Jigba.
Jackson. Yep.
Jackson. I tried to get a lot of JSN because I figured Lockett would probably like towards the end of last year he started to kind of go down and wide receivers always kind of fall off of a ledge. And he was talented. Like I feel like, when you were looking at Quentin Johnson, JSN, and who was the other big rookie that year? Is that Zay Flowers?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah. So I thought JSN was one of the better, like looked like he knew what he was doing out there. Quentin Johnson looked like he was allergic to catching the football
Yeah.
because Justin Herbert was blessing him. And now he's doing better this year, but JSN, like I had high hopes for him. I didn't play him week 2 because I was like, well, let me see him prove himself, but I'm happy to see that. The Cardinals are the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's gonna chuck the ball. Looks like finally he's chucking the ball towards Marvin Harrison Jr. and
Yeah,
he looks like everything he was advertised to be in the second game. Probably because Kyler Murray took some shit for saying that it wasn't his job to get him the ball. Because nobody understood that.
it is his job.
The um I cannot believe what happened to the 49ers the other night. Like, talk about a parlay destroyer.
Yeah,
Geez,
they're
that
all
was
injured.
rough. Right. And so, and then the Rams, like, oh wow, what a surprise. Cooper Cup got injured again and isn't gonna play probably for the rest of the season. And Puka Nakua is also only allowed to play 8 games a year, I think is the rule for him.
Yeah,
So
that's the Rams are a sad spot.
yep.
They should just forfeit this next week.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I am pumped about Sam Darnold and the Vikings, though.
Yeah, that's
I
incredible.
They look like they can be a contending team, and I'm so excited because I know a lot of Vikings fans who are going to talk themselves into it, and then they're going to get destroyed in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like in Vikings fashion, but. I really like Sam Darnold, and I feel badly because I feel like the game that quote unquote ended his career was the Patriots game when he was on the bench mic'd up and said, "I'm seeing ghosts out there" because he had 4 interceptions. Like he was just by himself, like seeing ghosts out there, and they were like, "We gotta choke this guy now." And then they send him to Charlotte, which is a quarterback killing city. Um,
yeah,
But now he's escaped, and I'll say the Charlotte might be a good luck chuck for quarterbacks because Baker Mayfield looks incredible. The
yeah,
Bucks, I think, are it's kind of a topsy turvy world right now. Like maybe the thing with quarterbacks that needs to happen is like obviously you need some kind of elite wide receiver that helps a lot. And then you need 5 to 7 years of being terrible, and then you can start to play well. Um, because other than CJ Stroud, and this was going to be the year to be like, oh, is he repeatable or not? And it looks like he is because you're like, all right, Jordan Love got injured, so like you can't really, say yay or nay on that. Will Levis, that's your boy.
yeah.
You want to defend him
He's
at all?
he's awesome, but he also makes the dumbest decisions possible. But he's like
He,
the most confident looking quarterback out there, though. Like
I
doing that.
think that his role model was Jay Cutler. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I think.
Did I send you the Jay Cutler like meme where it's like all these quarterbacks like doing hard plays and it's like then it's Jay
Jay
Cutler.
Cutler.
It's like
Yeah, yeah. Throwing the ball into the back of Alshon Jeffrey or whoever
yeah,
that was, and yep. Yeah, no, smoking Jay Cutler. I like Jay Cutler a lot, on and off the field.
yeah.
Great guy.
That's awesome. Yeah.
um, I the Lions are confusing to me. I feel like I don't know. The beginning of the season is always a weird time because everybody's still like, oh, we have to remember how to play football. We all were on vacation for 6 months and
Yeah, Jared Goff
doing
isn't in a
whatever
good
their
place.
hobbies were. No, no. So I don't love that. Um, Bears are the Bears. The Bears. Like,
Yeah, they're just
just,
the
yep,
Bears.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Rough place. And then the Packers. Got a lot of Packers people in our life. Our brother-in-law is a big Packers fan. So, um, my hope for him is that they can win the NFC North, someday soon for him. But that they also never win another Super Bowl for the rest of my life. That's my wish. Uh,
They've won a
yeah,
decent amount. They don't need to win anymore.
yeah, and like to get to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to seemingly like another good quarterback and to
Yeah,
only have like 4 Super Bowls from all that is like you're squanderers. You guys don't deserve it.
yeah, that is true.
Maybe invest in your team. Maybe pay a little more for some tickets so you can hire some good coaches and good football players.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So, and then my Super Bowl pick for the year, the Saints, because that would be hilarious and awesome. Is if Derek Carr wins the Super Bowl with the Saints.
what if they just keep blowing everybody out? Like,
I mean, Alvin Kamara looks like he's playing against kids, right? I
yeah,
mean, he's like manning everybody. And then Raheem Shaheed looks incredible. Olave still looks amazing, even though he doesn't have as many like fantasy outputs. He's doing great.
yeah.
Um, and then the defense is good. So, and they get to play the Panthers twice, so there's 2 guaranteed wins. They also play the Falcons twice, which I don't know if you're still a Falcons fan or not, but
Still up there.
do you want to go
I
Falcons go at all or
I think that they're getting like the more Kirk Cousins is still hurt. Like you could see from the first week, he didn't move at all, and then this week he
right?
moved a little bit. So I think it's just like as long as he stays healthy and gets healthier, I think they'll be a above average team. I don't think they're gonna be amazing, but
Yeah, which is just like a fascinating assortment of like why would you sign Kirk Cousins to that kind of deal and then like but your team is a team that looks like you could be something,
yeah,
and like yeah.
they're all young. So I think like if Kirk Cousins doesn't work out and Michael Penix has been behind him for a while, like they could be good.
Right. I mean, you could have like very similarly to Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith and learning how to be like a mild mannered quarterback. Like I actually really like Kirk Cousins, and I do think like he's a quarterback that you could win a Super Bowl with if your defense was like a top 5 defense.
Yeah,
And the especially like it looked that way with the Vikings and how they were. And I feel like his injury and everything that happened last year was like um, probably their last year with that set of window, you could say. So, but I do like Kirk Cousins. Just not this year. Uh, I got
yeah.
0 Kirk Cousins in my life.
I didn't get any. I don't think I got. Well, besides Bijan, I think Bijan and I have Drake London in like one league, but that's
Yeah,
just because it like fell to me. Like I was like, I guess I gotta take Drake London here.
like I think that the game, like the best game of the year, is gonna be let's see, when's the date? October 13th. Buccaneers Saints.
Ooh,
Like that's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be the highest scoring game of the season. Um,
the
and
the
it's gonna
Saints
be phenomenal.
the Saints play the Eagles this week. That'll be.
Yeah, I think they're gonna beat them. I think they're gonna like beat them soundly.
I know
These are
it's.
okay. Like the Saints have almost double everybody else except for the Cardinals, right? So they have 91 points scored already.
Yeah,
And so then the Cardinals have 69 points. But then the next closest team is the Buccaneers with 57. The the lack of scoring, in games this year is like slam the under on your parlays because the way that they're playing defenses and the lack of quarterback talent or whatever you want to call it is outstanding for looking at the unders on stuff. It
yeah,
sucks for fantasy because you're not going to get consistency that way. Your
No,
touchdowns are going to come randomly to people. Um,
it has
so
sucked. Like everybody's been, at least everybody has been doing bad in fantasy. At least like not bad, but not amazing. Like
right,
you're getting like 15 to 20 points by the best wide receivers, and then like there hasn't been. I don't think there has been like a boom wide receiver besides Jaden Reed in the first week. I think that's been it.
right. I mean, it depends. Like Stephon Diggs had 2 touchdowns first week.
Yeah,
Last week was a better week for wide receivers, but like the Bills have 65 points in the AFC, and then the Jets have 67 after 3 games played.
yeah.
Like it is not good. Um, yeah, the Broncos have 26 points from 2 games. That's
Did you know what's pretty funny is all the rookie quarterbacks, all of
yep,
them are tied for the most touchdowns passed. Like no rookie quarterbacks thrown a touchdown yet. So like
really.
JJ McCarthy's tied with everybody because nobody scored a passing touchdown.
That's funny.
Yeah, like Caleb Williams
Wow,
hasn't, Jaden Daniels
that's
hasn't.
wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
and they're winning
Um,
games too. Like some of
yeah,
them, like the
that's
Steelers. Steelers won and kicked 6 field goals one game. I don't remember who that was against, but oh, I also wanted to talk about looking at the draft that like we drafted in our leagues. I think
yep,
beyond anything, the biggest bust has to be Christian McCaffrey for everybody. Like the fact that he was the 101 overall in most leagues, and then the
yep,
coaches didn't tell anybody that he probably was gonna be out for a while. That's like the
right,
craziest story. Like they just kept that hidden from people.
yep, yeah. It is wild. He right, because it was like, oh, he might play,
Yeah,
like oh, he might miss like the first week was kind of like the way. The thing I forget about is because so the NFL season is so short,
it
right?
is.
And basically, like you have an injury and a surgery, and then you have like recovery time and window is set, and then you're trying to push to the week that the NFL opens, right? But it's not like they have magic salt that they can introduce once the season starts. So when someone's like, "Hey, there's a 6 month recovery time to this thing," and he's going to probably play week 2. Like, hmm,
Yeah,
like, what's the variance on that? Is it like 2 months potentially? Which yeah, obviously it is. And
yeah,
so,
yeah,
uh, that's crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
man, it's it is. It's wild. So I am like, there's definitely opportunity for, and this is the other thing that I think is a little bit odd is like Justin Jefferson got drafted like way later, right? Just because it's going to be Sam Darnold. Like people thought Christian Kirk was like this top 5 quarterback, and now he was getting like a bottom 5 quarterback, which I guess I could see. But it's not like he wasn't still, no matter who's passing the ball. Like if I was the starting quarterback for the Vikings, I would be throwing in Justin Jefferson's direction like 50% of the time,
Yeah. Yep.
and they kind of have moved away from like, oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try and be okay. Christian McCaffrey is number 1, and then number 2 was kind of up in the air, but I feel like Brian Robinson was like the go to for it.
Bijan.
Jonathan Taylor, oh yeah, Bijan. Jonathan Taylor dropped late too, which is kind of crazy to me,
Well, I
but
think because he had Anthony Richardson starting, who's people thought was going to take away touchdowns and
right,
running.
but I guess the reverse you could think of that as like defenses want to stop Anthony Richardson from scoring touchdowns, so they have to play a different way, which opens up for a great running back to be able kind of like how the Ravens running backs traditionally with Lamar have always been do awesome is because the defenses have to play a funny kind of defense to account for a quarterback who runs 800 yards a season, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Um, so so I luckily I got a lot of Jonathan Taylor and a good amount of Justin Jefferson. I got way too much Stephon Diggs, which this last week made me really nervous because he looked like an old man out there. But
He's gonna be like boom or bust just because they unless one of the other receivers gets hurt, like that
Right.
room's gonna be besides Nico Collins. Like Nico Collins gets open and gets the ball, but the
Yep.
other two, it's a coin toss.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's go through our two big larger leagues though. The let's go through softest and then I want to look at my dynasty team that is in God mode. So
So softest league is a keep 5-person keeper league, and um, we've been doing it for how many years now? Is this our?
this is the seventh season,
Is
sixth
it
season.
really? Holy moly! I don't think I've been playing that long.
Let me see.
2019. So that's
Five years.
5 years, which is still
Okay.
a long time.
Yep.
So we've been doing this for 5 years. It's
Yep.
mostly family and for like friends league,
Yep.
and right now I'm in first, 2-0. My team is decent. I wouldn't say my team is the like incredible team. I think my running backs are just incredible. Like I did a good job keeping James Cook, and David Montgomery was a good keep, and so was
Yep.
Bijan Robinson. And
Right.
then
Because
I
the rest of your team is garbage.
and then I traded Kyler Murray for Devon Achan, which probably is still going to be a good play if Devon Achan doesn't get hurt, because Raheem
Well,
Mostert's
except
dead.
that your quarterback is Justin Fields.
Dude, he's been fine. Like
He
comparatively to other quarterbacks right now,
No, no, no,
he's
no.
doing
You
fine.
are on drugs, all right? Justin Fields, here's your 2 weeks, all right?
Yeah, 11-10.
10 points and 12.
Yep.
That's horrible.
It's horrible, but like, who am I
That's
gonna pick
half
up?
of what like a decent quarterback gets.
What am I gonna do though? Like,
I bet. Let me
Jared,
see. Let's see.
I could pick
I
up
bet
Jared Goff or
Baker Mayfield,
yeah, I guess I could
quarterback
pick
one
up
on the season,
yeah.
on the bench, on the free agent.
I'm gonna pick up Baker Mayfield right now.
Ooh, I
Still,
just tried to grab him.
yeah, I know you. I knew you were gonna do that.
Sam Darnold, better than Justin Fields. Like, I, almost everybody that's a free agent is better than Justin Fields. Jared Goff is not.
He was. I mean, I'm 2-0. He was serviceable enough for me to win.
Derek Carr, free agent.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't trust those quarterbacks. Like they could just throw up duds. At least with Justin Fields, I have like a
You
floor. I have a floor of him running the ball for points. But you
he
get
could
like,
get benched at any minute.
yeah, I know. I'm not. I'm just streaming quarterbacks, but that he's been consistent. If you look, if I picked up
It's
Jared
okay.
Goff and played him, he had 7 points
Listen,
this last week.
I know why you brought the league up because that's the only league that you have two wins in,
No,
and
it's not.
but you're not going to win that championship.
Oh, I might.
Absolutely not. No.
I'm 2-0 in the squishiest league. I'm 2-0 in the elite league that
You
we're in.
haven't. Okay, so let's run through your wide receivers real quick. You got DK Metcalf, that's a great flex. Malik Neighbors, which is he on the practice squad now or
He just
where
had
is he?
28 points last week. Thank you very much.
Yep, yep.
He could end
And
up
then you've
being
got
incredible.
Demarcus Robinson
Yep.
as your third best wide receiver,
Yeah.
Christian Watson, and Lad McConkey.
Yep. I have Puka Nakua on my my injury reserve. Like I had Puka
Right.
Nakua, which was a good wide receiver. But yeah, I mean, I don't have great wide
You
receivers.
don't have a wide receiver one on your team. That's incredible
I think
that you
DK
think that you
Metcalf's
can
a
win
wide
out.
receiver one.
He's a top 10 wide receiver.
Yes,
No.
I think on the season he will be. Like they're playing Miami this week. I think he'll do
Well,
very well against them.
so let's go up on it then. All right. So like, would you rather have Nico Collins or him?
Nico Collins.
Would you rather have Justin Jefferson or him?
You're going top five wide
Top
receivers.
10. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go through 10 right now.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, obviously.
Yep. Would you rather have CeeDee Lamb?
No,
What?
no,
What?
I would not. I think
Okay.
the Cowboys
All
are
right.
gonna be bad.
Even if they're bad, uh he's going to get um
He
all of the attention.
he finished. He is behind DK Metcalf right now in points scored this year. So
Yeah, that's because DK Metcalf had like he does. He will have 3 games this year where he has almost 30 points. And then he'll have 10 games where he has under 5 points. That's DK Metcalf.
I don't know. I think that they're throwing to him more than the big plays that he's had in the past. Like he had 10 receptions last week, and I think they're going to keep that up.
You know what's wild is that the this can't be right. How do they do this? Okay, yeah. So Nico Collins is number one, Chris Godwin's number two, Rashid Shaheed's number three, Jaden Reed's number four, Justin Jefferson's number five, Alan Lazard's number six, Jameson Williams is number seven, Alec Pierce is number eight,
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is number nine. So there you go. You got a top 10 guy. And then Debo Samuel is number 10. Cooper Cup's still number 11.
It's
Just
the wide receivers
amazingly.
are bad this year. Like they
Rashi Rice is 12th.
it's been
Devontae Adams
rough.
is 13th. DK Metcalf is 14th. But I just like Antonio Brown, or I mean, AJ Brown. You'd probably rather have AJ Brown rest of the season. Like, there's a lot of options that you'd pick over DK Metcalf.
Well, if like I'm thinking of trading right now, I wouldn't want to get AJ Brown. He's hurt and said he's
Oh,
like
I
a
get that. I get that. But like the if we were doing the draft and it was and AJ Brown and DK Metcalf were still on the board, you'd pick AJ Brown.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right. Um okay, so you don't have a top 10 wide receivers.
I do. Malik Neighbors is number
Uh,
9.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay. Uh my team is just I don't know what. So like I have Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback, which has been just as bad as Justin Fields. No, that's not true. He scored twice as much as Justin Fields last week. So
Yep.
he's quarterback.
Why can't I
He'll
just
be
look at your
fine.
team?
Jonathan Taylor is my RB1, which is great. Um, Rashad White is my RB2, who last week, I guess he got injured or something in the game.
Yeah, they just had a weird game too last week. Like even when he got
Yeah,
hurt, Bucky Irving didn't even do anything either. Like it was just weird.
right. And then I've got Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Rashi Rice, and Jamison Williams, which
Those are incredible.
that's 3 wide receivers in the top 10.
Yep.
Um, and then Stephon Diggs will probably be like what he was game one on and off. Like Stephon Diggs and DK Metcalf have a similar
Would you
space in
would
my
you
heart.
switch Diggs for in Jigba like in a flex?
In a keeper league, yes. I actually have Njigma on my team.
I know. I'm saying like I think I would start him over uh Diggs this
It's
week.
gonna be matchup dependent for me. So like in Jigma, they play Miami, who don't give up a lot of points to wide receivers as much as the Vikings have so far. So, like, I'll play Diggs this week because he's more like that defense is the 18th ranked against wide receivers, where Miami is the sixth ranked. And I think that what's his name? Kenneth Walker is going to play this game as well.
Yeah.
So I don't like to play somebody right after like a huge game because then the defenses kind of skew a little bit towards them.
Yep.
Um, but
But I mean,
yeah,
you had DK and Njigba had good games, so I'd
my
hope to.
big weak spot, I need to get a tight end because I have Kate Otten.
Yeah, that's the tight ends have been rough.
Yep.
In one league I'm in, and it's like a local league. I We were on the cruise, and I didn't have Wi-Fi the first day because you didn't get it till the next day. So I just
Yep. Oh yeah.
before we left, I queued all the people. I was like, I tried to queue it strategically of when draft people would go and everything, but I ended
Yep.
up. But it's worked out incredibly. This is my team in the local league: Baker Mayfield, Travis Etienne, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Nico Collins, Trey McBride, Jalen Waddle, Brock Bowers, and
Wow.
Isaiah Likely. So I
Wow.
have three tight ends that
That are
all,
in the top 10.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
I've been
crazy.
trying to trade Trey McBride or Brock Bowers. I tried to trade Isaiah Likely after his first week, but people just
There's
immediately
some
rejected
really
it.
there's some really good stats on Brock Bowers right now that kind of
Oh
speak to like it's not fluky what he's doing.
no,
And
I'm excited.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna win this league because I have these tight ends.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's switch to the Dynasty League real quick
Yeah,
because your team is atrocious in
it
that
is.
league.
But I'm 1-1. I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna win some games.
Yeah. Like I rarely see somebody with a 40% chance to lose right off the bat. You're starting somebody who's projected to score 4 points.
Yeah, it's
That's
not good.
bad.
My
No.
my my team falls off fast. Like before we even get to my bench, it falls off. Like
Right. That's wild. I mean, it's let's see, how many stars do we have? It's a three wide receiver, three flex league, and then you have
it's a
like
bit.
18 bench spots.
It is a tough dynasty. Is tough, especially with. Is this a normal setup of that many
It's
people starting?
no, it seems like a lot to start, but the benches are usually like it makes sense that waiver wires are scarce. Usually it's just the old guys, old heads that are on the bench. So like that makes a lot of sense. But um like you have to on purpose tank, but it's not you don't even have anything really to give up.
No, I mean
Like your
I
best
tried.
players are DK Metcalf and Garrett Wilson.
I got Jaden Reed too. Like Jaden Reed's the Packers' number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be good this year, no. But like in a dynasty league, he is a very good person to have on a team.
Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say more than Garrett Wilson and Metcalf. Like I would say he would go.
Yeah. I mean, if Garrett Wilson doesn't end up being like, because Aaron Rodgers is a very like targeting person. So once he picks his wide receiver, that person is his like go to, and then everybody else's blessings are scarce.
Yeah, I mean he threw to
But
an insane amount of people in the game last
I mean,
or
your team is
Thursday.
so bad that you have people on IR that are on your bench because you don't care. That's how
Yeah,
bad your team is. That's
yeah, my
horrible.
team is bad.
Like, it's incredibly bad. Tony Pollard, Justice Hill, Garrett Wilson, Derek, DK Metcalf, Reed, Goddard, Jalen Warren, Calvin Ridley, Darnell Mooney, and then kicker defense. And then on your bench, like it's not like you got a bunch of rookies queued. You just got these like backup crappy running backs. Bucky Irving, I guess, might be
He might be okay.
something. Oh, you
But
got Christian Kirk on your bench. That's disrespectful.
I mean, he's sucked. Trevor Lawrence sucks. Like it's I'd
Yeah,
rather
but
play.
you're starting Justice Hill over him.
Yeah, I'd rather play Justice Hill or Jalen Warren that's going to get 4 or 5 points than nothing.
Okay, let's talk about my team. All right.
Yeah.
I've got Zach Moss, Kenneth Walker, Austin Eckler, Alexander Madison, Adam Thielen, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Tutu Atwell, Dontavian Wicks, Kadarius Toney, Tucker Kraft, Jake Ferguson. All my bench in that team's better than yours. Those are all my bench players. My bench would smoke your starting team.
Yeah.
My starters are Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson, Rashad White, Justin Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, Stephen Diggs, J.K. Dobbins, Jordan Mason, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Destroying people.
It is
There's
crazy.
no, there's nothing that can stop me.
Nope. I
I
don't think,
actually don't have the most points forward. Luke's team does.
which is, I mean, his team's pretty good too.
Right. But my team is also like future proof.
Yeah. Your team's not old, which is crazy.
He's got Adams, Kelsey, Connor, and Harris as his old heads.
He's got young people too, though.
Yeah, he's
His
got some young old people.
his isn't
But
that
then
great, but
his bench is Keenan Allen, Cooper Cup, Debo Samuel.
yeah. Out, out, out.
Ooh. Yep.
Like
Ooh.
Chris's team is pretty good in there. He's got Kyler Murray, Brees Hall, Jameer Gibbs, Brian Thomas is a young good player. Demarcus Robinson
Yep.
and Jared Judy are, but
Right.
Devon Achane. And there's some good teams. Like I don't think you got like a cruise control the championship, but you
You don't think I
definitely
have cruise control? You
no.
don't think I have cruise control? Oh my goodness.
No, I mean Chris won
Like
last year.
if anything happens to any of my players, I have bench players that everybody else would like to have as a starter on their team.
Yeah.
That's my team.
Uh. All right. So that's week. That's our fantasy recap of the year. We will hopefully be back more frequently and do more updated videos. Um. Yeah. Good luck in week 3. I don't think we're playing each other anywhere. We haven't. I don't think we
Nope.
played each other yet. 2
Nope.
weeks. Oh, I got a quick question. I
What?
have T. Higgins in the Yahoo league we're in.
Yep.
Should I sit Jamison Williams or DK Metcalf for T. Higgins? They're playing the Commanders.
No, I don't think you should play T. Higgins till you see that T. Higgins matters.
Yeah.
Especially not against those two. Those two will have a decent floor. T. Higgins' floor could literally be zero. He could just be a distraction out there in his first game back.
Yeah. I'm just worried like he's going to have one really good game and it's going to be on my bench.
The first one back,
Yeah.
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 Hold him, Lim. Hold him. He
Yeah.
might not have any higher value than right now.
I know. Oh, I should trade him. That's a
I'll
good
give you
idea.
Justice Hill for him.
I already
Since you
have
like
him.
starting that
I already
guy.
have him starting in one of my leagues.
Yep.
All right. Thanks
rough
for
life.
watching. We'll see you
Yep.
in the next one.